Hi, Dr. Javed Akhtar Ansari. Welcome everyone in this video lecture. I am going to talk about intercellular signaling pathways. After watching this video, you will be able to understand what are signaling pathways: intercellular signaling pathway, autocrine signaling pathway, paracrine signaling pathway, synaptic signaling pathway, and endocrine signaling. Signaling pathways. Signaling pathways, also known as signaler transduction. It refers to how the presence of an extracellular signal can produce a change in the intracellular state of the cell without the initial signal crossing over the membrane. The ligand receptor complex starts relevant cellular events either directly or by stimulating another target molecules. These events can be grouped under two headings, that is intercellular signaling and intracellular signaling. Intercellular or extracellular signaling and intracellular pathways are both types of cell signaling, which is the process by which cells communicate with each other. In the intercellular or extracellular signaling, the communication occurs between cells where a signal is transmitted from a sending cell to the receiving cell. While in intracellular signaling, the communication occurs within a cell where the cell produces and receives the signal. Then intercellular signaling pathway. Intercellular communication employs messenger substances, for example hormones, that are secreted by signal producing cells and received by target cells. All these cells produce and receive multiple diverse signals. The intercellular or extracellular signals are transduced into the intracellular signaling chain that control many of the biochemical activities of cell and can also trigger the formation of further extracellular signals. In higher organisms, intercellular signaling pathways have the important task of coordinating and regulating cell divisions. The pathways ensure that the cell divides synchronously and, if necessary, arrest the cell division and can enter into the resting state. So, this is the principal mechanisms of intercellular communication. A is the signal producing cell, B is gap junction, and third one is C is surface proteins. So, A is the communication via intercellular messengers, and in B, communication via gap junction, which provide direct connection between the cells. Gap junctions are coated by proteins shown as circles in the figure that can have a regulatory influence on the transport. And third one is communication via surface proteins. Then comes to the steps of intercellular signaling. That include triggers. First one is trigger signal induces release of stored messenger or stimulates its biosynthesis. Second one, transport to the target cell. Third step is the receipt of signal by the target cell, and fourth one is the conversion of signal into intracellular signal chain in the target cell. Then what are the signaling mechanisms? The desired effect in intercellular signaling is made by four different signaling mechanisms: autocrine signaling, paracrine signaling, synaptic signaling, and endocrine signaling. So, autocrine signaling. In autocrine signaling, the cell that is producing the signal expresses receptors on its surface that can respond to the signal. So, sender and receiver is same. This is how vertebrate immune system cells respond to the antigens. Antigen stimulates some T lymphocytes, and T lymphocytes synthesize some growth factors, and these factors, signaling molecules, cause T lymphocytes to divide and multiply by stimulating themselves. So, abnormal autocrine signaling causes these cells to uncontrollably divide, multiply, and causing cancer. Second one is paracrine signaling. In paracrine signaling, the ligand stimulates the target cell at a certain distance from the cell where it is secreted. The target cell is very close to the cell producing single molecule. For example, paracrine signaling depends on the location mediators that are released into the extracellular space and act on neighboring cells. Third one is synaptic signaling. It is carried out by nerve cells between nerve cells and the effector organ cells. The ligands, for example neurotransmitters, transfer the impulses from one neuron to another or from one neuron to the muscle cell. The neurotransmitter release into the synaptic cleft stimulate the effector organ cells. See in the figure. This is the sending cell and this one is the receiving cell, and these are the neurotransmitter, and neurotransmitter has been released in the synaptic cleft and binding to the postsynaptic. And the fourth one is endocrine signaling. It is specific to endocrine cells. Cells communicate with the cell far away from them with the signaling molecule, for example hormones, which is secreted by endocrine cells. These signaling molecules usually reach target cells via passage through bloodstream. For example, thyroid, parathyroid, pancreatic and pituitary hormones. See in the images. The endocrine, this is the endocrine cell and it is passed through the blood vessels and coming to the target cell. With this I conclude my lecture. Hope you have understood the topic. We'll meet again with the more interesting video lecture. So keep watching the videos. Thank you.